Hello, everybody. You're at the point right now in this class where you've probably started to draft and maybe even come close to finish your second essay, the definition style essay for this class. And you're going to have some decisions to make. There's a lot of writing in our class which talks about the ability to earn an extension. And I want to talk to you about my policy here. Hopefully by now, you've read the material about MLA style and you're starting to experiment with working quotes into a paper. And those rules are very complex and difficult to learn in a short amount of time. You're also brainstorming, trying to figure out all the different ideas to put an essay like this together, a working thesis, and the basic content that you're going to use to support that thesis with our brainstorming exercise. And we're coming up to something that's very, very important that I try to teach in this class, and that is the whole concept in university culture of peer feedback and peer reviewed. You'll notice that there is a video about peer-reviewed journals. When you're in the university system and say you're an assistant professor and you want to work your way up to full professor, oftentimes what you do is you write an article and get it published in a peer-reviewed journal. And this is very important in college culture. When you're doing research for a paper like my class, you want to try to get quotes from scholarly sources, peer-reviewed journals. And I have a totally separate video explaining what that means. But the peer review process comes all the way down to the freshman level in college. You could be in one of those classes where the teacher says, okay, everybody exchange your papers and let's get some feedback from a peer. We won't do that in my class, partially because personally, I'm not really an advocate for that style of peer review because you just never know who's going to be reading your paper and giving you feedback. And maybe a student who's far less qualified than you. However, you can get peer review, and this is really important, from a peer, another student like you who's just a year or two ahead of you at the Writing Center, or somebody who's professionally trained. There's two different types of tutors, team teachers at the Writing Center. Some of them are full-time employees whose job it is to do nothing but give feedback to students like you all semester long. Getting this kind of peer review on a paper before you turn it into a teacher can definitely be a key to success. And that's why I ask students to work with the Writing Center. In fact, I come just short of bribing you. I can't send you free pizza over the internet. And I really don't want to force students to go to the Writing Center. So I frame it as an opportunity to have some extra time, to get somebody to read your paper before I do, to give you really solid feedback on things like, is the thesis working? Am I using MLA style correctly? Are my ideas solid? Is my evidence from a source that is authoritative and it's not just something that I found on a website by using Google? All of these aspects of what makes a successful essay and maybe what reduces the effectiveness of the essay will be evaluated by the team teachers and tutors at the Writing Center before you submit it to me. So I offer these very luxurious, if you will, extensions, oftentimes an entire week or more of additional time, a gift to you for taking the extra time, putting in the extra effort to revise your paper. Your grade will not be considered lowered, or your paper will not be considered late, and your grade will not be lowered if you work with the Writing Center. In fact, your chances of earning a good grade will increase. And I really emphasize that because in a class like this that is accelerated, you can use every little bit of extra help you can to assure that your papers will be successful. And one final closing thought, okay? The Writing Center is not there just for English classes. It's there for every course that has important writing assignments beyond the English department. And I want my students to be familiar with that because it's the A and the A+ students who use the Writing Center all the time. They discover it oftentimes through my class or another English 1A class, and then they use it throughout the rest of their college career. And by the way, there's a Writing Center on every campus in the country. So if you go to Stanford, you go to Harvard, Chico State, they will have a Writing Center similar to ours. They're called WAC centers, WAC, writing across the curriculum. If you're an engineering student, they'll help you with your engineering papers. If you're a nursing student, they'll help you with the papers in your nursing classes. So consider my offer of an extension. And if you just don't want to work with the writing center, go ahead and turn it in by the original due date, and that'll be fine with me.